Welcome viewers to the Saturday, December 17th edition of 284 News. I am Jacka Wooding, bringing you our top stories from this week. Thank you so much for joining us. We begin our coverage with a look at the crimes that made headlines this week. One man was confirmed dead following a shooting incident in Major Bay East End on Monday. The confirmation came from the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force in a media statement. It said, quote, "Investigations into the incident are active and ongoing. Therefore, no other information is available at this time," end quote. The deceased was later identified as Kadeem Jimenez. One female police officer has been slapped with 3 charges following a recent arrest. She is Police Constable Karina Bria, who is charged with inflicting grievous bodily harm for performing a medical procedure for which she was not licensed. She was also charged with possession of proceeds of criminal conduct as a person not registered as a medical practitioner. The confirmation came in a media statement by the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, which said that Bria was officially charged on Wednesday. Speaking on this development, Commissioner of Police Mark Collins said his force will investigate all allegations made to them. He also reinstated his position that his officers must comply with the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force's Code of Conduct, and if found to have committed a criminal offense, they will be prosecuted.
The news from this development is according to a report by the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, which confirmed the arrest in a media statement published on Tuesday, December 13th. Well, it said, and I quote, "Officers from the Anti-Narcotics Unit responded to a call for assistance from the St. Kitts and Nevis Customs and Excise Department on December 12, 2022. As a result, they visited the airport sometime after midday, and the luggage of an individual who had arrived on a flight from Tortola was examined." It continued, 9 tubes of toothpaste containing vegetable material suspected to be cannabis was found and taken into police custody, end quote. Well, the gender, nationality, or name of the arrested individual is yet to be announced, but St. Kitts and Nevis Police said investigations into the matter are ongoing. Reporting for 284 News, I am Kamal Haynes.
Coming out of Guyana are that at 7:30 a.m., a gunman shot at security guards after failing to infiltrate the country's state house, the official residence of President Irfaan Ali and his family on Thursday morning. It was reported on local Guyana news that a presidential guard was stabbed 5 times by the man who turned up at the residence demanding to see the president. In an official quote, they said a security detail was on duty at Southeastern Guard hut adjacent to Carmichael Street when a male of mixed race confronted the security stating, and I quote, "I want the president," Guyana Police Headquarters reported. He then became agitated and grabbed a knife from his waist, stabbing a male presidential guard 5 times about his neck and body. The man then reportedly grabbed a gun of a female rank and walked out of the security hut and started firing from outside of the compound. The Guyana Police Force said both the suspect and the police rank were rushed to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation for medical attention. Their conditions were stated to be serious. The assailant has yet to be identified as investigations are ongoing. More to come as the story develops. Ron Grant for 284 News.
We continue with news that a police officer has introduced a new program entitled DARE, which stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education, for students from kindergarten to grade 6 to help children make wise decisions when faced with adversities and peer pressure to do something harmful or unsafe. Ron Grant has more.
An officer of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force has introduced a new program in 3 primary schools, Willard Wheatley, Enid Adams, and Ivan Dawson Primary Schools. DARE, which stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education, in a 10-week program for students from kindergarten to 6th grade to help children make wiser decisions when faced with adversities and peer pressure to do something harmful or unsafe. More on this report. An officer of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force has introduced a new program in 3 primary schools across the territory, Willard Wheatley, Enid Adams, and Ivan Dawson Primary Schools. DARE, which stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education, is a 10-week program for students from kindergarten to grade 6 to help children make wiser decisions when faced with adversities, peer pressure, and also encouraged to do something harmful or unsafe. Being a trained DARE officer himself, PC Zamfir Adams teaches topics such as understanding the rules and laws are put in place to keep them safe, saying no to drugs, what to do in an emergency, handling conflict without violence, avoiding gangs and gang violence, understanding traffic signs and symbols, among many others. Commissioner of Police Mark Collins embraces this new initiative and welcomes the opportunity to help shape young minds and steer them away from bad thoughts. He said in a quote, "I am quite happy PC Adams has thought to implement this new program in our schools, where future minds are most vulnerable. I look forward to getting the community officers involved and expanding to more schools." As the end of the school semester approaches, there was a competition amongst the 3 schools to sing the Dare Chair song for a chance to win prizes. The winning school was grade 3 class of Enid Adams Primary School, who received their prize on Wednesday, December 7th from PC Adams himself. The administration team of the Enid Adams Primary School say they extend gratitude to the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, especially PC Adams, for including them in the DARE program. In an official quote, they said, "This initiative has created an invaluable bond between our students and police officers, as they truly believe and have a deep understanding that officers are their friends and are here to keep us all safe," said the members. The timely sessions on stranger awareness and being drug-free gave our students insight into how to stay safe in different situations. The manner in which Officer Adams delivered the content was indeed engaging, and we look forward to seeing more of him throughout the school year. It is the vision of community officers to get involved in this new initiative and for the program to expand to more schools throughout the territory in the coming year, with the motto "Reaching the Minds, one school at a time." The program will resume in the new school semester with the conclusion of grades 5 and 6 at the current schools. Reporting for 284 News, Ron Grant.
Thank you, Ron. We now head to a quick commercial break. We'll see you again in a sec.
Hun, it's asking for your password.
Huh?
You were logged out. I need the password.
BR,
What's the rest?
BRANDI, the number 4, EVER?
Who's Brandy?
We're like the password that isn't your ex-girlfriend's name. CG Insurance. Good like that.
I should have changed it.
You should have.
You're right.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, you enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes,
Good
son.
morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut fun topic.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you? You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Introducing a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. It doesn't always involve suits and bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons. I'm taking you outside in the field to share the journey of some of the BVI's best and brightest men. From East End to West End, Virgin Gorda to Joss Van Dyke, not forgetting Anegada. Our Virgin Islands gentlemen are doing the damn thing. We are the movers and shakers of this generation. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman. Season 4 by yours truly, Ron Grant. Raising a generation of greatness. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on 284 Media.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. While the Constitutional Review Commission continues to conduct public consultation meetings, it is calling on youth across the territory to attend and speak up on their concerns without fear of voicing their respective views. Kamal Haynes has more in this report.
The encouragement came from members of the Constitutional Review Commission during an interview with 284 Media recently after it was disclosed that the youth feel unrepresented with the current composition of the 15-member Constitutional Review Commission. Responding to the point, Reverend Dr. Melvin A. Turnbull said, if the youth truly feel unrepresented, they should speak up and let their concerns be heard.
If you sit back and fuss that this isn't happening, that doesn't really do anything. So this is a good opportunity for young people to come forward with all the concerns they have and not be shy, not be afraid, because again, it's going to affect them for generations to come. And so this is a great opportunity to voice their opinion and more particularly to put it in writing as well, so that the whole essence of what you want can be captured. So don't be shy at all. Take ownership of this process because it really is your process.
Also adding to the dialogue was Commissioner Noni M. Georges and Chairman Lisa Penn-Letsam, who had this to say.
Persons really need to participate and take charge, and I think that moving into the future, what we would like to see from our young BVI landers is, if you have an issue, stand up and state the solution. And they can demand to be added to the commission. I don't know who would have the authority to do that at this point, but they can make their representations, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And also too, as part of our terms of reference, we do have the ability to have people to come and address us. So that opportunity is also available. If they feel that they want a different forum than just coming and meeting with us, we also have the ability to reach out to persons as resource persons. So if there's a particular area of focus, for example, that might have a technical side to it, they can come and make a presentation to us.
Reverend Turnbull also said that he believes the Constitution should be introduced to the curriculum in local schools to further educate the youths on the significance of similar processes such as the current Constitution review.
What I would say is that people have been very engaging. I want to also say that maybe we have not, and when I say we as a people, government, etc., maybe have not done a very good job as far as educating people concerning the Constitution. So maybe one of the things that should happen is that it should be enshrined in the curriculum in schools so that students at a very young age understand what the Constitution is, what it's all about, and how it impacts. So you're right. What we're doing in this exercise is a very important thing, and I want to stress that. The Constitution that we are now under, 2007, is the one that was done in 2004, 2005. And this one that we are working on now is really for generations yet to come. And I don't want anyone to get too comfortable because we're not guaranteed we'll have another opportunity within 10 years or even longer.
But Chairman Penn-Letsam also expressed that she was pleased with the turnout of the elderly at the various meetings and once again encouraged the youth to reach out to any of the 15 members of the Constitutional Review Commission.
One of the things that I'm heartened with when I go around is the number of senior persons that are very much cued on and very much following what's happening and into it, very current with their views on civics and politics. I'm not seeing the same mirrored for young people. So I would just like to encourage and remind again, reiterate, as young persons, please take ownership of this. We're here to educate. There are 15 of us. You see us all along, just meet with us, even if it's in our own private offices. It doesn't have to be me, but ask questions and just get involved.
Reporting for 284 News, I am Kamal Haynes.
Meanwhile, Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley set the example at the recent Constitutional Review Educational and Consultative Forum, recently held by the Commission, when he rose to put his views on record regarding the Constitution.
As a citizen of the Virgin Islands, just to say, Madam Chair and Commissioners, that the most fundamental contradiction that we face in this Constitution and the Constitutions before has to do with our non-self-governing status. We have close to 200 countries in the world. In the world that we live in, we have 17 remaining non-self-governing territories. And based on our obligations to the United Nations, we have to report every year our progress towards decolonization. And we can never have a conversation about a constitution without addressing that fundamental contradiction.
Citing the position of the United Nations on colonialism, Wheatley hammered in the point that the Virgin Islands must take action to advance on its path of true self-governance. He added that he envisions a shift of the Virgin Islands' relationship with the UK to better align with international norms and what is moral and acceptable in the world.
Right now, we only have a partial democracy. We have an individual who is unelected, who has tremendous powers, and the people of the Virgin Islands, the voters, cannot hold that individual accountable. And so it's important for our young persons viewing here tonight, and it's important for the people of the Virgin Islands to know that that is not something which is normal.
The Premier also recently spoke strongly as he reiterated his government's position on the UK's loan guarantee, stating that the soul of the Virgin Islands is not for sale when being asked whether the territory would be in a better position to finance capital projects had it accepted the loan. Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley says that Virgin Islanders can rest assured that when he goes out seeking a loan in the interest of the territory's development or recovery, he will not be putting the soul of the BVI on the line. Wheatley, at the time, was responding to questions surrounding his government's position on the United Kingdom's loan guarantee and whether the territory would be in a better position now if the government had accepted it. This came following his statements that meeting the demands of the public for infrastructural works would require money.
So yes, we want to borrow, but we don't want to sell our soul to borrow, and we don't want to sell out the Virgin Islands to borrow. So the people of the Virgin Islands can be guaranteed. When I go to borrow, it's not going to be in exchange for the soul of the Virgin Islands. We're going to borrow on terms which are fair. Of course, you borrow your money, you have to pay back plus interest. We'll look at for the best rate possible, and that's really the only conditions are conditions which are practical and make sense. Not lots of other things that have nothing to do with the loan itself.
Wheatley has reiterated that the position of the Virgin Islands government on the loan guarantee is a result of unreasonable conditions attached to the guarantee.
Well, the challenge that was had with the loan guarantee had to do with the conditions which are attached to the guarantee. And, I don't think that when you have somebody who's down, they're devastated, they've been destroyed by hurricanes, you should be attaching some of the conditions that we attach to it.
Previously, the Premier had indicated that not taking the loan guarantee would not affect procurement procedures for small-scale projects due to take place in the near future, as the government had already determined that the sum of the loan offer was much too high to be taken for those purposes. At the time, he did note, however, that the money may be sought once again when the government is confronted by the demands of funding major projects, such as the airport expansion. For 284 News, I am Jacka Wooding. This week, it was announced that the BVI has received some assistance from the EU RESEMBIT program to finance the advancement of the territory's water quality monitoring program. Minister for Natural Resources and Labour, Honorable Melvin Turnbull, broke the news.
The Virgin Islands relies on the coastal and marine areas for its recreation, food sources, and tourism amenities. Moreover, we rely on clean coastal waters to support life and livelihoods. Our potable water comes from desalinated water collected from the near shore. Therefore, the standard of care that the sources of our drinking water needs to be high. The Water Quality Monitoring Program, in part, provides the base of evidence required to inform actions that will lead to better outcomes for the protection of our coastal and marine areas and enhance the human well-being.
Minister Turnbull said that this grant has come at an opportune time due to rapid coastal development across the territory, which has resulted in stressed marine ecosystems. evidence of which can be found in degrading reefs and coastlines, all in need of strategic intervention. With that, we take a quick word from our sponsors.
Freeze. Choose your mix, choose your flavor.
Good job there, brother. All right. I'm surprised you're here.
I'm surprised you're still alive.
Charles, it's been 60 years.
I wish it was 60 more.
Let it go.
No, you know what you did.
It was just ice cream. But you know what? It was delicious.
What?
We're like a family get-together without all the family drama.
What you gonna do?
CG Insurance. Good like that.
Welcome back. We now take a look at some of the more festive developments to come about this week. The Anegada Serenaders made a trip to Tortola on Wednesday, spreading holiday cheer and traditional Christmas music, with all within earshot of their performances. 284 Media caught up with them as they took on the Pier Park. On Wednesday, 284 Media joined the Anegada Serenaders as they took center stage, bringing festive joy to the Cyril B. Romney Tortola Pier Park. There we spoke with George Smith, who filled us in on what is shaping up to be a very busy holiday season for the Serenaders.
We start on the 24th of December and we go straight through until the 1st of January. The pull this year, we had one of our old-time players in the band that is at Adina Donovan's home. His name is Lincoln Vanterpool. He used to play the harmonica. And for years we keep saying we're coming down to do something special. So we came down, we are coming down, we said, hey, maybe get a plaque, get a fruit basket. And from the time we reached there, he just was happy tears. It wasn't like no sad tears. Everything was happy. We played for the Adina Donovan's home. Then we went by the hospital, we did a little thing there. And then our minister, Mr. Vincent, he said, why you guys don't play the Pier Park? I said, well, I'll talk to the members, and they all said, yeah. So that's how we end up here today.
Of course, this report would not be complete without sharing some of the highlights of their performances that day. The Anegada Serenaders are inviting one and all to join them back on their home island as they spread holiday cheer from east to west and back again. Activities peak on Christmas Day and culminate on January 1st, 2023. For 284 News, I am Jacka Wooding. Last weekend, 284 News joined the Virgin Gorda community for their annual Christmas in Spanish Town event. More in this report. Virgin Gorda was the place to be this weekend for the annual Christmas in Spanish Town, which took control of Lee Road on Friday and Saturday. Upon arrival in Virgin Gorda, our first stop was to check in with Representative for the 9th District, Vincent O. Wheatley, who himself seemed to be enjoying the festivities.
We get to showcase our culture, because like I said, foods, you're going to get various foods being offered here, from simple popcorn to our chicken soup or pea soup to conch, to boiled fish, grilled fish, ribs, you name it, you're going to find it here. Also plants, arts, and our music. Our culture is on full display right here at Christmas in Spanish Town. And I must commend the committee, Sasha Flax and her committee, and also the marina people, the Yard Harbor persons, for allowing us to use their property, because we close off the road right here, so we have to use their property. And they've been very cooperative in allowing us to do that. So today I'm very, very pleased to see we have lots of vendors on both sides of the road, as you can see down here. And it's a very festive thing happening right now. I'm so happy to be here and glad you can make it too.
Of course, for such an event to come to life, it takes a team. And our next stop was to speak with the lead of this team, Sister Islands coordinator Sasha Flax, who provided some insight on what went into this year's activity.
It has been a great experience, but like with many others, we will have some challenges and difficulties. But I have to say a great big thank you to the community and to our sponsors that made this event possible. It was a challenge because we started a bit late this year, but we managed to pull everything in, and this year we have the most vendors that this event has seen. I think we have 22 or 23. Last year we had 16 or 17, so I think we even may be outgrowing this space, so we have to look at some other options next year.
There was a great variety in booths available to patrons, from food and drinks to tricky carnival games, handmade goodies, books, and toys to bring a smile to any child. We spoke to many vendors, including a mother-daughter duo who are using their hands to show their Virgin Gorda pride.
My name is Roxanne Thomas Itwaru. This is a handcraft booth where we do art and crafts. I realized, and the name of our booth is VG Craft Boutique. I realized in Virgin Gorda that there are not a lot of crafts, handmade crafts. Well, when I go to Tartola, I went to Craft Alive and other places, and I said, is there anything with Virgin Gorda on it? And I was told no. I said, okay, well, me and my daughter here, we team up and we go brand Virgin Gorda handmade crafts for the world to see.
Yeah, right. And what's your experience been like doing this with your mom?
It's really fun, and it's a good hobby because I like to crochet. I actually crochet these bags.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm in one in the making.
Okay. Well, you're in the back there crocheting right now?
Yeah.
All right. Well, the booth keeps replenishing itself. What's the response been like from members of the public?
They love it. They love it. They say it's something different that no one else is actually doing. And they love the stuff that we are making. This is resin necklaces. We have the rope posters. We have even the maps with Virgin Gorda. We have maps in the bottle, so we are targeting like mainly tourists, but there's stuff in the mix in the middle also for locals. So we reach everyone.
By the end of the first night, it was clear that one booth in particular was immensely grateful for the support that their cause had received from patrons.
My name is Andrew St. Hilaire, and I'm representing the Valley Methodist Church in Virgin Gorda, British Virgin Islands. And yes, we are here at Spanish Town for Christmas in Spanish Town, doing a little fundraising because yes, the church has felt the pinch of COVID, and so we are here trying to do our little in the know, trying to raise a little bit of funds for the church. So we want to thank you. Thank everyone that has supported us. Today has been a very good day, and we're looking forward to an exciting day tomorrow on day 2. We're going to be here the whole day, starting with breakfast, lunch, right into dinner.
An uncontended highlight for the evening was the performances from local talents.
My past ain't pretty, but you know that already. You know I ain't perfect, but I'm definitely worth it. Sing right now, I wanna be with you right now.
For certain, Christmas in Spanish Town was a success and added its own flair to the 2022 Christmas calendar in the Virgin Islands. For 284 News, I am Jacka Wooding. That's all for our weekend news roundup. Be sure to join us for daily updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I am Jacka Whitting and I will see you again next week. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Goodbye.